welcome back, or if you're new here, you're very welcome as well. I'm Linz. So, title, thumbnail, everything of this, I'm back after surgery. Oh Christ, yeah. Again, it's been a couple of months. If you did catch my last video, then you will know that I was booked to go in for surgery. So I have that done on the 7th of January. We're now currently the 2nd of March, I do believe. So I have been gone a little bit longer than expected again. Firstly, I just want to say the lighting in this video is absolutely terrible. Can't remember how to use the ring light. I've had problems with the microphone. My plug-in one's just decided, nah, it's lost the will to live. My Bluetooth one that I'm using here is just, it's being a bit funny with if it wants to connect or not. So hopefully I've sorted it out now after spending the last 2 hours fiddling around with things. Yeah, it never sounds right, that does it? But yes, I had my back surgery. Not what I expected at all. If you've watched the last video, then I kind of said I wasn't too sure what they were going to be doing, but it was like a third option that I didn't even know existed is what I ended up having done. So what I ended up having done, there is some fancy medical name on it, Laminectomy or something along them lines, which basically means decompression surgery. And then I had a discectomy as well, which is basically what was wrong in the beginning. I had 2 discs that were very badly herniated, and the bottom of my spine was crushing the main sciatic nerve coming down to my leg. So I was in a fair bit of discomfort for the last about 4.5, going on 5 years roughly. Because of that, and I'd been on the waiting list for such a long time, there was some kind of thing where a couple of the private hospitals here took on patients that weren't private, basically. So I got to experience how the other half live. For a couple of days, I was put into this extremely fancy looking hospital. It was literally like walking into a really nice hotel, but you knew you were going to get something not nice done to you. I don't know if that's going to make any sense to anybody, but that's kind of the way it felt. I must say, spending a couple of days in sort of like the high class thing was very nice. Maybe not too much me, I'm maybe a bit too common for that, but yeah, it was lovely. Surgery itself, I expected that I was going to be having, I think I said this as well in my last video, keyhole surgery. So I wasn't expecting recovery to be that, intense or severe. No, true to Lynn's, I had an incision just over 3 inches, I'd say, in the bottom of my back, 16 staples. I do apologise, this is going to freak anybody out. Obviously then there's a lot of sort of like internal stitches that knit everything together in there. The internal stitches have been a problem. They're supposed to be dissolvable. I had this problem when I had my surgery to remove cancer as well. The internal stitches just did not like me whatsoever. For some reason, they just don't like dissolving. So, I said I had my surgery on the 7th of January. I went back up, I think it was about 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, it was about 2 weeks ago, to see the surgeon that done the surgery for me, neurosurgeon, I think he's called, something along them lines anyway. And I just pointed out to him I was having a few issues. Well, I'm still in a bit of discomfort, but I was having a few issues with 2 little bits of sort of like the internal suture. So I had one bit sticking out kind of in the middle of the incision, and right at the bottom of the incision was like a wee knot. Now, the knot was the one that was causing me the most problems. It was swelling around it and just not feeling particularly too great. So I did mention it to him. He had a look and he said, oh, don't worry about it. It'll just sort itself out. Yeah, okay. So on that, yeah, great. Still very, very uncomfortable. If you've ever had something like that, where you've had your internal stitches kind of pulling and sticking out and doing weird stuff, then you'll understand. How do I explain it for somebody that hasn't? I don't really know. Pulling, tugging, stinging, stuff like that. But what I didn't know, about 3 days after I'd been for that kind of final checkup type thing, I developed weeping and just not very nice stuff going on with that wee bit of knot at the bottom. So I do have it covered at the moment. Tiny little bit of infection, I think, in there. Again, it's kind of hindered what I'm supposed to be allowed to do now. So I'm supposed to be going out walking. I'm going to be doing that. I don't know if I can bring yous with me for that, lovelies, because I'm trying to work out on the camera stabilization modes, how I'd mount it, all this kind of stuff. So it could be a bit of trial and error over the next while. But yes, getting out walking. I have some physio exercises to do myself here at home, and I am on a waiting list, I think, or something, to see a proper physio person, whatever they are. You know, them ones that make you stretch here, there and everywhere. And yeah, they're normally always really young, flexible people, aren't they? So yeah, okay. So I'm not particularly too old, but I don't think I've ever really been flexible. We'll see how that goes. But basically, I just wanted to come on, let you know I didn't die. Nothing overly major happened, only I think my expectations of how quick I'd heal and stuff like that were maybe a bit too optimistic, probably because I didn't have the surgery that I've been reading up on and had leaflets on. But that's neither here nor there. We're back now. I'm hoping to get some more regular content out for you lovelies. I do have a list of kind of video ideas and bits and pieces for you. Now, they're mainly going to be, at the moment, until I can get back to the van and stuff like that, they're mainly going to be more to do with everyday life stuff. Like at the minute, I mean, the cost of living for a start has gone up through the roof. And, you know, I know it's going to be affecting quite a few people out there, as well as it is affecting me at the moment. Everything's just got so expensive. And, you know, trying to save some money when you haven't really got much to save in the beginning, it's kind of, yeah, it's getting to all of us. So I'd like to make some, you know, everyday content and stuff like that. Maybe throw in a few recipes for you, because what I have been enjoying over my recovery, is, you know, I've not been able to do too much, is I've been enjoying baking and cooking. And, you know, I don't class myself, you know, it's sort of like, you know, Mary Berry, but I'm getting there. Cue a picture somewhere coming in here of some buns and some bread and whatever else I've been making lately. But yeah, there's not going to be anything lovelies like makeup hauls and stuff like that, because to me at the moment I have so much bloody makeup and stuff. I really don't need to buy anything else, and I haven't got the money to be buying anything else. So that's kind of that. Now, eventually we will get back to the van build. I have everything, thankfully, I think, for that, sitting downstairs in my front room. So, you know, if you've watched any of my van videos, you know I bought everything previous to that. What else? I have a couple of reviews of products coming up, lovelies, that some companies have kindly sent me to see what I think of, and as always, I'll give my honest opinion on a few wee bits and pieces for you. So yeah, I won't mention any more about that just at the moment. I get a lot of emails asking me, you know, to maybe review this, promote this, do this, that and the other. If it's not something I am genuinely interested in and that I know that I can get some use out of, if it's any good, then I'm not going to take it. Do you know, that kind of way? I get a lot of gaming type emails about, can I plug this game or something. I don't do any gaming whatsoever. No, completely waste of my time personally. It's just not for me. Never been something I've been into. So I'm not going to start, you know, throwing up, I don't know, Warcraft or whatever videos, because I just don't like things like that at all. Each to their own. We all have to have a wee escape, do you know, that kind of way. But I think on that note, I don't really know what else to say. I'm just babbling now at this stage. So I'm going to go. Lovies and leavies, but as always, lovelies, stay kind, be nice to yourselves, and I shall see you again, hopefully very soon, in my next video. Bye for now, lovelies.